We're gonna have some fun with this story. Anytime I say the words skull, bell, or jack, we're going to take a drink. Let us practice. Around last April, I decided that I wanted to come into the possession of a human skull. Something like that. Now it's time to start the story. Around last April, I decided that I wanted to come into possession of a human skull and a Nepalese yak ball. The skull was for conversation. I was moving into an apartment by myself for the first time in 2 years. And I thought I'd like a skull! I lost my place. To have conversations and act out scenes from Hamlet with. Thy bell. Wow, I might need another beer. Was something I discovered I wanted when my friend Trevor showed me one that he picked up in Norway. It had the most calming sound when it rang, kind of meditative. Of course, these weren't exactly high on my list of priorities, much further down the purchase list than rent and alcohol. But I just thought I'd keep an eye out for them. So imagine my surprise in July when I walked into a Kiro shop in Austin and I discovered a wall of skulls! Some of you guys aren't drinking with me. And that is bullshit. There's the rules of this story. I'll stop. And a chest full of Nepalese yak bells! Thank you for participating. I appreciate it. Oh, this was a mistake. The skull I picked was made of black ceramic and was a little smaller than a football. It was awesome! The bell I chose was a gold color, had a wooden stick for a ringer, and a thick rope to hang on stuff. I was pretty much walking on air at the joy of my discovery. Never in my life did I think I'd find these two things at the same store, not even in weird Austin. $50 later, and I was heading back to Houston with my whim's desire. I hung the bell. Oh, fuck it. God damn it. Off a curtain rod by the sliding door to my patio, and got in the custom of ringing it when I was coming in and out. The skull! It's not getting old. Found a semi-permanent home on the table next to my couch, but it would routinely get put next to the stove while I cooked, by my computer when I wrote, and on the top of a window unit next to the bed while I read. Originally, I decided that his name would rotate, being whatever I wanted it to be at that time, but he ended up being stuck with the name Jack. Kirby, Jax. Namesake was one of the most influential comic book artists of all time, not to mention quite dead, so it seemed fitting to have an ethereal skull named after the legendary king of comics. In September, the lease I was subletting came up, and I didn't have the money to renew, beginning my current period of first world homelessness. Couch surfing and living with my parents I packed the bill! I lost my place again. Up in a box with some cool books and other knickknacks. I wanted to have on hand, and Jack... Are you guys following along with me at home? I'm not doing this for myself, I'm doing this for you. Kirby went on my dashboard, becoming my traveling buddy. My first, continue to page 2. Week of homelessness. I decided to take a trip to New Orleans to stay on couches there. When I stopped for lunch in Viter, and that's a bad decision. I'm gonna go ahead and throw my 2 cents in. I decided to hide him so that he wouldn't look appetizing to the passing lawless rednecks, I agree. It didn't occur to me to put him back on the dashboard until I stopped again for gas 10 miles outside of NOLA. That's New Orleans. As the gas was pumping, I looked for him, but due to shifting items, he may have fallen underneath some stuff. I went around to the passenger side to get a better angle, and immediately I opened the door. Jack! I know it's getting old. Don't worry, we're going. We're doing this. Rolled out and shattered on the concrete parking lot. Damn it. I love that thing. I didn't scream or cry or get angry. Just kind of looked sad. And I fell to my knees. When I say he shattered, I mean he fucking shattered. No part of that clay looked like it even added up to the shape of a skull. Is it
time for your next beer? Yes.
A skull? After about a minute of mourning, I finally uttered, "I'm sorry, Jack, God damn it!" Kirby for very long, but he was already a good friend. He started in Vines, was an eager doodle subject, a cool road buddy, and well loved by all who knew him. It took me a long time to find him, and it was almost fate when I did. The loss really got to me. It still does. So I'm in the market again. For you, skull! Whichever one I get won't be as cool as Jack! I wasn't even gonna drink tonight. Kirby was, but I'm still lonely. No. And I still need an inanimate friend to bounce ideas off. I'll always miss Jack. And if you can hear me, old buddy, I love you, baby. All right.